Northwest. Where are these storms headed? What does the rest of your Wednesday look like? And the severe threats for your Thursday and Friday. Details coming up.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
Good Wednesday morning. Glad you're with us here to start your morning. We got storms firing off right now up north.
Up north.
Question is, are they going to make it south, and how far south?
No, they're headed northeast.
Northeast. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, so people were wondering about that.
The rain for northwestern Oklahoma, it's a huge deal. There have been many spots that have picked up more than an inch of rain. So big deal for them, right?
Yeah, they need it.
We're all needing rain. They especially need the rain. We have had severe storms. So let me take you back. These storms fired off in the Texas Panhandle around 11 o'clock to midnight. And as they went up towards Buffalo to May, down to Woodward, they were severe. These are what we call pulse severe storms. So they strengthen, then they weaken, and sometimes they strengthen back up some, but generally they don't do much in the way of hail and wind. It's pea to dime to quarter size hail and maybe some winds 40, 50 to 60 miles per hour. In the metro, we are dry. We will have the chance for a little drizzle this morning, maybe a few showers, especially into the afternoon, with the bulk of the widespread rain and thunderstorms today, at least this morning, across the north and northeast, and then into the afternoon down across the south and east. So right now, thunderstorms continue from Buffalo down to Arnett and Mutual, Waynoka to Cherokee, and over to the Newkirk and Ponca City area, and not seeing much in the way of hail at all with these, but there are some pockets of very heavy rain. We had a severe thunderstorm just about 30 minutes ago over the Medford, Renfro, and the Bremen area. That has since weakened. So again, maybe some pea to dime size hail, but look at these rainfall amounts, anywhere from half of an inch to an inch of rain, and in some spots up to 2 inches. Here's your visibility in Oklahoma City right now. Very low, especially the higher up you go, up in the cloud deck. The cloud deck is very low. 48 is our temperature right now. It feels like 42. We're kind of a metro divided with 40s to the northwest and 50s down to the south and east. There's your cold front from yesterday. Today, much cooler. Temperatures upper 60s and low 70s out ahead of it with a north breeze. So coming up, a lot to talk about. Severe threats for the southeast today, and then tomorrow and Friday, really the days to watch for storms that could rotate and produce a tornado. We'll talk all about it coming up. Colby, back over to you.
Megan, thanks. Want to turn to some breaking news from overnight. Oklahoma Highway Patrol says one person is in custody after they were found going the wrong way on I-35. They were headed north in the southbound lanes. This was the scene after troopers tell us they eventually stopped that driver after they got off I-35 onto the Turner Turnpike. They were headed east in the westbound lanes. That was about 20 minutes ago. The Highway Patrol says the driver was possibly intoxicated. We're told the wrecker by our crew, we're told that the wrecker is there. They're trying to get that cleared out right now. No one was hurt. So far, no names have been released. And new this morning, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol says a 66-year-old is hit and killed in Kay County. Troopers say Terry Wayne Willis was standing behind his white Dodge pickup and trailer outside of Ponca City Friday night. That's when the Highway Patrol says 16-year-old driving that SUV tried to swerve and miss Willis before eventually hitting him. Willis was pronounced dead at the scene. And in Elgin, the community is working to heal this morning after a school bus crashed into a semi with 38 students on board. 2 children are recovering from critical injuries. They are expected to be okay. News 9's Matt McCabe has more on how neighbors are offering to help with recovery.
Another day comes for Elgin, still reeling after one of its buses plowed into by a semi. Katrina Thompson, owner of a t-shirt company, says there is a way for anybody to help out.
What we're doing is the first 1,000 t-shirts. Affinity is going to cover the cost of the shirt, all the printing, all of that, and 100% of that purchase price is going to go to these students.
On another end of town, Michael Damaris is staying late at his shop, Heritage Music in Luthery.
Dusty Devers has made this location available for anyone who wants to support the families of the children who were in that crash yesterday, to drop off care packages or anything to help console the families or help them in this time of need.
It's really beautiful to see that people are so interested in connecting, and that unity piece is very alive in this community, and the faith is so strong around here.
Faith wraps around the town. prayers pouring across social media, and Pastor Mike Keybone says every church in the nearby area has come together in prayer with a special gathering on Monday night.
I couldn't believe the number of people. We didn't even have the lights on, and it was just, we're in the dark on this football field, and just a huge part of our population circled up, sang some songs, and just prayed.
The prayers continue as the full needs of the families affected become more clear. Matt McCabe, Oklahoma's Own News 9.
And at last check, Thompson says that $4,000 have been raised from shirt sales, all to help those families with medical expenses. The Highway Patrol says the exact cause of the crash still under investigation this morning, but troopers said the driver of that semi has not currently been cited for any violations. 4:06 right now, more police get the all clear after a bomb squad confirms a suspicious device didn't contain any explosives. Mason Dunn, Bob Mills Sky News 9 were above this scene right near Main and Broadway. This was yesterday afternoon. Investigators say a man left an empty computer tower and a shoebox inside a gas station just after 12:30 yesterday. Police say the suspect is in custody and will be given a mental health evaluation. A Caddo County deputy is fired after he was arrested and charged with felony kidnapping and domestic abuse. Investigators say Logan Davis assaulted a woman during an argument, even throwing her into a TV stand. Officers say Davis also strangled, pointed a gun at her, and kept her phone and keys to prevent her from leaving. He has since bonded out of jail. Turning to the war in Iran, the Pentagon identifying 4 of the 6 U.S. service members killed over the weekend. Those 4 died as a drone hit a command center in Kuwait on Sunday. Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin is a member of the Senate Armed Services Committee, and he told our Washington Bureau Chief Alex Cameron the nuclear threat in Iran was immediate, but the U.S. is not going to occupy the country.
We're not at war with the people there. We're taking out a regime that has been using the wealth of Iran to fund the terror organizations around the world. They've killed thousands and injured thousands of Americans for 47 years. This is the president eliminating that threat because it wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when they were going to try striking the U.S.
Senator Mullin also says there are no current plans to deploy troops to Iran. 4:08 right now, and you're sort of taking a live look at the Capitol this morning on the Lucky Star Skycam network. Little foggy out there, but we assure you it's still there. A Senate bill hoping to restructure the OSSAA, the organization that oversees high school athletics, is rejected in committee. That bill would have created a new board structure with appointments of parents or legal guardians to the board by the governor and by state lawmakers. Senator Ali Seifert says that she wrote the bill after talking with parents, school administrators, and the OSSAA.
They like to claim that they are a member-driven organization. Well, this body funds those members, and I'm tired of having my constituents come to me frustrated that their students aren't able to play golf. And then I have to write a letter, and then those parents have to get an attorney so that the kids can have access to the sporting facilities that their tax dollars pay for.
Governor Kevin Stitt says he's confident changes will still happen to the organization. We'll be following any changes that occur. The OSSAA says it appreciates the Senate's decision and remains committed to working with lawmakers on future legislation impacting educational and extracurricular programs. 4:09 as we turn to the Bob Mills Weather Center. We saw the shot there of the Capitol. Megan, it's a little low visibility out there.
Yes, cloud deck hanging in very low. It's possible we have a little drizzle here in the metro, but the bulk of our thunderstorms are up in northern and northwestern Oklahoma, and so grateful that they are getting some good rains this morning. All of our severe storms have weakened, still some very heavy rain and lots of lightning. These are noisy storms. The threat shifts down to the south and east for this afternoon and evening. We'll talk more about your Thursday and Friday threats. That's coming up.
And still ahead, state data show chronic absenteeism in students is higher now than during the pandemic. Students missing school. What one district is going to get students back in the classroom, where they're going, it's after the break. get you ready for severe weather season, and it seems like it's starting early. You can meet our entire News 9 weather tracker team. Our storm trackers are Mason Dunn, Bob Mills Sky News 9. All this weekend, it's the 10th annual Severe Weather Awareness Expo. Saturday from 11 to 2 at Penn Square Mall. Of course, Megan's going to be there, and you're excited for it. It's always a long event because you guys stay usually later than 2 because so many people come out and have so many questions.
Exactly. We're very blessed that typically it lasts longer than the 2 p.m. I think that's a good problem to have, but we look forward to it every year. Yeah. There's all different things that the kids can see, and our tracker trucks will be there, and again, the whole team. It's not often we get the whole team in one place.
And so you'll have a lot to talk about, it seems like, after this week.
Yeah. Definitely, for sure. So we'll go ahead and start with this morning. If you were up in northwestern Oklahoma this morning, maybe waking up to some very noisy storms, you weren't crazy. We had some severe thunderstorms, produced some small hail, and some very, very heavy rain and lightning. Here in the metro right now, we have been dry. We had a few showers yesterday that were pretty wimpy, a couple lightning strikes. We did not have any severe weather, but very low visibility this morning. The cloud deck hanging in very low. Winds are breezy out of the north, and a little bit of drizzle will be possible through the morning with a shower or 2 this afternoon. We still have active weather headed our way here in the coming days and really through the rest of today. So today is cooler. Cold front came through yesterday. There are severe chances down in southeastern Oklahoma. It is mainly a wind and a large hail threat. Tornado threat is not 0, but it is very low. Tomorrow is a big day to watch along with Friday. Severe storms taking off in the west, and those are going to try and move towards the Oklahoma City metro. They should weaken, but that's not totally locked in. Wind, hail, and a tornado threat. And then Friday, it's more of a statewide risk, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. On Saturday, we turn cooler, another cold front, and a few rain chances, but overall, the weekend is dry before our next storm comes in for next week. So we get a little bit of a break. So again, for this afternoon, about 3 o'clock into the overnight hours, severe threats out ahead of the cold front. So the cold front that came through yesterday, it's down in southeastern Oklahoma. It has not cleared the state. Tomorrow from about 6 to 7 o'clock, we will watch for thunderstorms, rotating storms, supercells to take off in the Texas Panhandle and in southwestern Oklahoma. And these are going to lift to the north and to the east. So I've kind of expanded this zone. If you watched Lacey last night, some of the latest data saying even some of the strongest storms come into Oklahoma City. So we will watch this and fine tune this very, very closely, but mainly areas to the west of I-35. On Friday, the setup is a little different as the dry line sets up in western Oklahoma. Fire danger will be high back behind that dry line. The air will be dry, the winds will be strong, and we'll watch for storms in this environment to rotate. And they, as they rotate, could produce a tornado, but they could also produce some very large hail. Let me take you back through kind of the overnight hours. Again, thunderstorms taking off in the southwest and lifting up to the north and to the east, moving pretty slowly, which allowed for those rainfall totals to be pretty good. A lot of spots picking up 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain, which is very significant in spots where we just haven't had the rain. So right now, thunderstorms continue from Mutual up to Woodward to Waynoka, a little hail core there, over to Cherokee, Newkirk, and Ponca City, and up into Kansas. Here in the metro, totally dry, but again, the chance for a little drizzle. A few showers trying to develop down to the south, but generally, the main body of the state is dry. So heavy thunderstorms over Visay and Mutual right now, over to Fort Supply Lake, and again, the northern sides of Waynoka, over to Cherokee and the Kremlin area, and all of this kind of lifting to the east, north, and east. So Lamont, down to the Hunter area, Ponca City, and Blackwell. As we go through the morning, we'll watch these storms. It's possible they pulse back up and have a low end severe threat, but right now the hail is so very small. If anything, pea to dime size hail and just heavy rain. Here are your rainfall amounts. Again, 1/2 inch to 1 inch, which is awesome. So as we go through the day, future next gen thunderstorm chances down to the south and east. That's where the severe threat is. And then taking you into Thursday evening, these will be your supercells, the rotating storms that take off and lift up to the north and to the east, and will try to weaken as they head into the metro, but that's not locked in, with additional thunderstorms for your Friday afternoon and evening. Here's the view from our Lucky Star Skycam network. Not much of a view there from downtown. 48 is our temperature right now with 96% humidity. 40s to the northwest, 50s down to the south. And there's your cold front. Temperatures out ahead of it in the upper 60s. Winds trying to crank up some down in the southwest. A north wind at about 10 to 20 miles per hour. Out ahead of the front, a south wind. And here are your chances for this morning. A 40% chance for showers in Oklahoma City. And then into the afternoon, a 20 to a 30% chance for a sprinkle, a shower, strong storms down to the south. And we're in the low to mid 50s, very warm out ahead of that front. And then tomorrow we are back to the 70s. Jam-packed here for the next 3 days. Again, the threat for most of our viewing area is going to be your Thursday and Friday. We'll talk more about it coming up here in a few minutes. Colby, back over to you.
Megan, thank you. State records show Oklahoma students are skipping school now more often than they did before COVID. In fact, statewide, about 20% of students are identified as chronically absent, meaning they've missed 10 or more days of school, excused or unexcused. In this morning's Educate Oklahoma, testimony shows us how one district with higher than average absenteeism is now making house calls.
Well, the good thing about tech is we could probably tour both programs.
Work is underway in Rebecca Boyer's office to help a recent graduate figure out his next steps in life.
I plan on furthering my education to learn a new trade.
But Mrs. Boyer's work stretches far outside the walls of Union High School.
In my role, I've tried to be very intentional about direct in-person communication.
Boyer is the high school assistant principal of student engagement. She's tasked with bringing a new, fresh approach to helping chronically absent students.
My goal is primarily to create a pathway for these students.
Which is why Mrs. Boyer is on the road, alongside her secretary and translator, Norma Estrada.
I have to rely on...
They're going door to door to try and get students back in the classroom.
The only way I knew to fix that is to go find them, right?
They let us ride along to 3 of their visits. The first stop, no one was home.
Hola, buenos días, señor Guillermo.
But the student's dad did answer the phone.
Hi, sir. We're here regarding your daughter. We're a bit concerned. She's not been attending classes regularly.
The single father had no idea his daughter was skipping class, something Mrs. Boyer says is very common.
Okay, 41st and go down.
The next visit was for a student they've met with before.
Hola. Hola. It's us again.
The sophomore said she feels overwhelmed by the size of the high school and doesn't like going. They went over alternative options.
And our ultimate goal is to see her earn a diploma.
At the last house, no one answered the door or the phone. Boyer says these face-to-face visits help paint a better picture of why kids aren't going to school and give new ideas on how to keep it from happening. Union put out a survey asking students the reasons they're not showing up for class. The top reasons after not feeling well were not feeling interested or engaged in the class, feeling overwhelmed by other things in life, needing more sleep, and having other responsibilities outside of school, like work.
I didn't see how I could do school and work at the same time.
A full-time job is what pulled Osvaldo Lopez Padilla out of the classroom last fall.
I needed to work and I needed to help my family.
Mrs. Boyer and Estrada's knock on his family's door helped lift that weight.
It definitely shows a higher level of respect and care to students.
With a tailored plan and encouragement from the district, he graduated early.
A lot of sleepless nights, going to work and opening that laptop and just doing the work that had to be done.
Union's goal is to one day accomplish a 100% graduation rate. And Mrs. Boyer knows that will take time and work.
We're building connections and building bridges, and so the work is important in order for it to create larger scale change.
And they're getting closer with every knock. For Oklahoma's Own, I'm Tess Monty.
And to see the full results of Union's survey, plus what teachers, what parents, students had to say, you can visit this story right now over at news9.com. Much more ahead here. We're back right after this. Welcome back. Up north, getting some good rain. I know we're hoping to get in on that action later this week.
Right.
What's it looking like right now up north?
So the storms have weakened from earlier this morning. This is a view from our Kyle Wilson, and he is out on the roadways for you this morning in the Woodward area. He's got some moderate rain there, and he was also reporting the potential that we may have some power outages. So we're going to check on that here in just a second. But again, thunderstorms continue lifting off to the north and to the east. Amazing rain for northern Oklahoma. All of this is below severe limits, but a lot of lightning, heavy rain, and some very, very small hail. We'll talk more about it and also the severe threats for your Thursday and Friday coming up here at 4:30.
All right, we're going to stay on top of it. No, we need that rain to wash out some of this pollen, right? We were just talking about that.
Up.
Hey, Robin and Lacey, going to join us. Good morning, Pierce. We're back right after this.
Right now at 4:30, we now have an update of the students injured in southwest Oklahoma after a school bus crash on I-44 with 38 students on board. I'm Lacey Lowry. Coming up, how you can support the injured.
Plus, the war in Iran could impact how much you're paying at the pump. Some places across the country have seen a 16-cent increase overnight. I'm Robin Marshall, a live report on the changes we are already seeing here in Oklahoma.
And meteorologist Megan Gold tracking some showers making their way through the state this morning. I'm Colby Thielen. The timeline. When can we see some here in the metro? It's coming up on News 9 this morning.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
Good morning, glad you're with us. And yeah, those thunderstorms happening up north. You said you saw some drizzle, though, on your way in Edmond.
A little bit of drizzle coming in from Edmond. It dissipated pretty quickly, but I thought, oh, I'm getting some of that.
Some moisture, finally.
We're so desperate for the rain. It's been so dry. And Megan, some folks getting a good downpour this morning.
Amazing rains up in northern and northwestern Oklahoma this morning. This is a view from our Kyle Wilson. He is out on the roadways for you, and there's the rain coming down pretty good. There have been many spots up in the northwest from severe thunderstorms that picked up half of an inch to an inch of rain this morning. Let me take you to the radar, show you where, and a big lightning flash there. There's Kyle's location, and all of this is below severe limits, but a lot of lightning and a lot of heavy rain. Still some pockets of some very small hail possible. So taking you back, these thunderstorms became severe as we went into the midnight, the 1 o'clock hour. Those pulse severe thunderstorms that we talk about, they come up in intensity and then they weaken. They can produce up to about quarter-size hail, and again, a lot of heavy rain and lightning. So right now, thunderstorms headed into Sealing and Chester, up to Fort Supply Lake, to the Alva area, to Byron, to Cherokee, and all of this moving off to the east-northeast. Intense thunderstorms over Hunter and Jefferson, up to Medford, Renfro, and over to Ponca City, to Newkirk. And again, not seeing much in the way of hail right now. Maybe some pea to dime-size hail, but that would be it. If anything, you are hearing that lightning. Back into the metro, as Lacey mentioned, some pockets of drizzle possible, and it'll be hit or miss. You'll drive in and drive out of it, but we are dry other than that. Look at these rainfall amounts. This is radar estimated half of an inch to, in some of the heavier bands of rain, an inch plus. You go up into Kansas and one of the stronger storms, 2 inches of rain. And I tell you what, we are grateful for that moisture. Here's the look from our Lucky Stars Skycam network. Very low visibility in the Oklahoma City metro right now. That's our American Fidelity camera. 46 is our temperature, and it feels like 41, 97% humidity. And it's a metro divided, 40s on the northwest side and 50s down to the south, with upper 60s out ahead of the cold front that moved through yesterday. Winds are breezy to gusty out of the north at about 10 to 20 miles per hour, and there are more severe threats for later this afternoon into the overnight out ahead of that cold front down in southeastern Oklahoma. As we go into tomorrow, the threat intensifies in western Oklahoma with a tornado threat. We'll talk all about it here in just a few minutes. Guys, back over to you.
And the breaking news this morning, a wrong-way driver on the Turner Turnpike. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol says one driver right now is in custody after they were going northbound in the southbound lanes, first of I-35, as they were entering the Turner Turnpike. And this was the scene after troopers say they stopped the driver on the Turnpike again, going the wrong way. This was just within the last hour here in Oklahoma City. The Highway Patrol says the driver was possibly intoxicated. No one was hurt. There was no crash. It's a good thing the officer saw the man. No name of the driver has been released.
New this morning, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol says a 66-year-old Morrison man is hit and killed in Kay County. Troopers say the victim, Terry Wayne Willis, was standing behind his Dodge pickup and trailer just outside of Ponca City on Friday night. That's when OHP says a 16-year-old driver tried to swerve and miss Willis, but crashed right into him. Willis was pronounced dead at the scene.
The Moore Police Department gives the all clear after the bomb squad confirms a suspicious device did not contain any explosives. Mason Dunn, Bob Mills, Sky News 9, above that scene. This was right near Main and Broadway yesterday afternoon. Investigators say a man left an empty computer tower and a shoebox inside a gas station just after 12:30. Police say the suspect right now is in custody and will be given a mental health evaluation.
Well, the Elgin community down in southwest Oklahoma is coming together, rallying, trying to support these families that were impacted by that horrific bus crash on I-44 Monday afternoon. We now know there were 38 students on board the school bus when a semi-truck driver rear-ended the bus right at the Medicine Park exit down in Comanche County. 2 students were meta-flighted to Oklahoma City for emergency treatment. Affinity Shirt Company, a local business in Elgin, says it felt compelled to start a fundraiser to help the families cover the medical expenses.
And what we're doing is the first 1,000 t-shirts. Affinity is going to cover the cost of the shirt, all the printing, all of that, and 100% of that purchase price is going to go to these students.
We also know Heritage Music, a local store there in Elgin, is accepting care packages for the students through a partnership with the state senator, Dusty Devers. Also, we do know everyone survived and everyone is expected to be okay. That is the good news after that bad wreck. If you want any information about how you can help, you can go to our website, news9.com.
Turning now to the war in Iran, the Pentagon is identifying the U.S. service members killed over the weekend. The 4 died as a drone hit a command center in Kuwait on Sunday. They were all based out of Iowa. Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin is a member of the Senate Armed Services Committee. He tells our Washington Bureau Chief Alex Cameron the nuclear threat in Iran was immediate, but the U.S. is not going to occupy Iran.
We're not at war with the people there. We're taking out a regime that has been using the wealth of Iran to fund the terror organizations around the world. They've killed thousands and injured thousands of Americans for 47 years. This is the president eliminating that threat because it wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when they were going to try striking the U.S.
Senator Mullin says there are no current plans to deploy troops to Iran.
And as conflict in the Middle East goes into its 5th day, gas prices nationwide have increased. News 9's Kylie Dedman spoke with AAA Oklahoma on the reason behind the surge in prices. Kylie?
Colby, this time of year, it's normal for gas prices to go up. It's the changing of the blends. Supply and demand goes up with spring break. But right now, the thing that's really making gas prices soar is the new war with Iran that's happening. Now, according to CBS News, they report that Iran is targeting ships and energy infrastructure in the region. Oil fields across the Middle East are shutting down after a refinery in Saudi Arabia was struck. And in Qatar, natural gas production is being paused. Taking a look at the numbers, this is the first time since November that the national average gas price has risen above $3. Now back home in Oklahoma, the average is about $2.73, which is making it one of the lowest average gas prices in America. But compared to just a week ago, we have jumped to almost 35 cents of an increase.
The increase in crude oil prices directly translates to the increases we're seeing at the gas pumps. Crude oil makes up about 60% of the cost of each gallon of gasoline, and so it's a big part of that.
And it's not just ground transportation that is being affected. Stewart says passengers taking to the skies will also be impacted as jet fuel is part of the process with crude oil increasing. Now, Stewart just wants to remind drivers that prices can fluctuate and just to be patient with what you see here at the pump. Reporting live, Kylie Dedman, Oklahoma's own News 9.
All right.
We also have some tips, by the way, if you want to try and get the most out of your mileage. We have that over at news9.com.
I saw the gas station by me jump 25 cents in one day earlier this week, and I just thought, is that a result, or is this just...
I got below a quarter of a tank last night. I was like, I should probably go ahead and fill up. And I was like, nah, I'll wait till tomorrow morning.
$1 more.
Now it's going to cost you more. Yeah, there you go. All right, we're going to switch gears. We're going to talk about getting good rainfall this morning. Some portions of the state already seeing that. Megan, good morning.
Good morning. Been tracking storms since about midnight this morning, and amazing rains falling up in northern and northwestern Oklahoma. These storms have had a history of being severe. They are now below severe limits, but a lot of lightning, heavy rain, and even some very small hail. We have our Kyle Wilson out on the roadways. I'll have his shot for you coming up here in big weather. Also, a lot to talk about for threats coming in for your Thursday and Friday.
Also ahead, delivering help from across the state to ranchers impacted by the wildfires. We have a look at the Oklahoma Standard on full display right after the break.
We're helping you get ready for severe weather season, and you're invited to come meet the entire News 9 weather team. David and Lacey, Megan, our storm trackers, everyone, Mason Dunn, Bob Mills, Sky News 9. It's this weekend. It's the Severe Weather Awareness Expo. It's out at Penn Square Mall. It's this Saturday. Mark it down from 11 a.m. to 2 in the afternoon.
Always such a big event, and you don't have to wait very long for severe weather season. It was like March was here, boom.
Hello.
You better be ready.
Exactly.
Right into it.
And it's not often that we get the entire team together. It's like a big family reunion. It's kind of weather chaos, but it's so much fun. So we would love for you to come out. We would love to meet you and talk about the weather that we have had and will have.
You got a lot to talk about right now.
I'll tell you what, I think tomorrow and Friday for sure are bigger days. Yeah, with the setups that we have and kind of the dynamics at play. So let me walk you through things day by day here in just a moment, but this is a live look from our Kyle Wilson. He is headed out of Woodward and headed eastbound, trying to get into some of the heavier thunderstorms this morning, and he's reporting moderate rain. I tell you what, we are so grateful that northern and northwestern Oklahoma are picking up rain this morning. So if you do have to travel, be advised the roadways, they are wet. Many spots have picked up at least half of an inch, if not more, in some of the heavier thunderstorms. Earlier this morning, when those storms were severe, they were only moving at about 35 to 40 miles per hour. And the slower a storm moves, the more rain you can pick up. So it's a really good thing. We do have more severe weather chances in the forecast. So we had a cold front come through yesterday, and that cold front is down in southeastern Oklahoma this morning, and it will spark additional severe chances as we go into the afternoon, the evening, and the overnight in southeastern Oklahoma. So the majority of our viewing area, western Oklahoma, northern Oklahoma, the Oklahoma City metro, no severe chances today. It's a little bit of a break for us. Tomorrow, the threat cranks up some, talking wind, hail, and a low tornado threat. And we will watch that very closely because those storms will have a tendency to rotate in the environment that those supercells go up in. Same deal on Friday, but it's more of a statewide risk. And then we turn cooler on Saturday. Most of your weekend is rain-free, but Saturday we'll have the chance for some showers and thunderstorms. So here's storm number 1. Storm number 2 that brings in our severe threats for your Thursday and Friday is still off to the west. And again, that is what will drive additional severe chances. So thunderstorms took off in the Texas Panhandle, tracking up to the north and east. They were briefly severe at times, quarter-size hail and winds to about 50 miles per hour. So this time of year, with the dynamics at play, you don't have a whole lot to work with, but it doesn't take a lot to work with either. So the environment was able to crank out a little bit of small hail and very heavy rain with this, and we do have some aerial flood advisories in effect. So here's where we stand. Notice our lightning count. It's trending down as the storms weaken, but still pockets of very heavy rain. There's Kyle's location as he is headed eastbound right near the Bows Junction right now. Winoka over to really the Cherokee area. You've got a strong thunderstorm headed your way right now with thunderstorms over Hillsdale to Pond Creek, Lamont to Ponca City, and the Billings area. So really all of this across northern Oklahoma. Some very small hail, possible pockets of some pea to dime size hail, but there is no big hail threat this morning. Look at radar estimated rainfall amounts. Again, half of an inch to an inch of rain, which is amazing. We are very grateful for that. Here in the Oklahoma City metro, most of this morning will be dry, but there's about a 40% chance for some drizzle and some showers into the afternoon. And again, a mostly cloudy day. Now this afternoon, that cold front will spark additional scattered showers and storms. The tornado threat is not zero down in southeastern Oklahoma today, but it is still very low. Some large hail and very heavy rain. Will be dry here in the metro again, other than a chance for a few showers. Now tomorrow evening is when our next chance of severe weather comes in, and it's mainly southwestern and western Oklahoma. We'll watch for thunderstorms. These will become supercells that will go up in the Texas Panhandle and southwestern Oklahoma. Those will blossom, and those thunderstorms will be capable of producing a tornado or two, hail to the size of golf balls, and very heavy rain. We will do it all over again on Friday with more of a statewide risk, with the chance for more rain into your Saturday. There's the live look from our Lucky Star Skycam network, that limited visibility and some pockets of drizzle. It is not widespread. 46 is our temperature right now, and it feels like 41. Very saturated, 97% humidity. Temperatures are colder up to the north and west and much warmer out ahead of your cold front. Winds out of the north back behind the front, and highest chances for rain and for storms across the north and the east. This morning and into the afternoon, we are much cooler than yesterday. 81 yesterday, 55 today, warmer down to the south, and there's your severe threat for today. For tomorrow, golf ball size hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds, and again, a low tornado threat in that orange shaded region, and this will change as we go through the day today and definitely into tomorrow. Tomorrow brings another big warm up, and then into your Friday, there's more of a statewide risk with fire danger back behind the dry line. So a jam-packed couple of days here. By the time we get to the weekend, things dry out. It's pretty quiet. We are chilly on Saturday, but warming back up on Sunday.
Megan, thanks. Ranchers in western Oklahoma still recovering from recent wildfires.
And this morning, more help is on the way. People across the state showing the Oklahoma standard. News 9's Sam Carrico shows us how.
Ranchers say the fires burned more than 300,000 acres near the Panhandle. They say at this point, any help they can get would be appreciated.
The flames may be gone, but Joe Hamilton is still dealing with the aftermath of last month's fires.
It's hard to describe that. It's hard not to get emotional whenever you do.
The fire came within inches of the home on his property near Knowles in Beaver County. He says more than 300,000 acres burned across the county, turning the pasture land black and destroying miles of fencing.
You see black and you see stubble, little stubs in the fields that were green. And it's sandy.
The Hamiltons are ranchers, so for them it's more than grass, it's their livelihood. Without grass, his cattle can't eat, and the recovery won't happen overnight. Anthony Mayer runs a business with trucks and trailers in Wagner, and when he saw the devastation, he knew he had the equipment and responsibility to help.
They've got a year and a half to 2 years before this grass is ever going to get back to where it's going to have nutrition for the cattle.
That's why he and other volunteers are hauling hay, feed, and fencing supplies from eastern Oklahoma, all on their own dime. After their first trip to the Panhandle, Mayer says the number of volunteers tripled the following weekend.
You know, anybody that wants to jump in behind a trailer and bring 2 bales of hay or 3 bales of hay, they will load them up.
Because while the fires may be out near Hamilton's property, the rebuilding process is just beginning.
I just want to thank everybody and what they're going through to help us.
Neighbors helping neighbors.
And Mayor tells me he's making another trip to Knowles out this weekend, and if you want to help donate supplies, you can get them to him, and he'll make sure those supplies make it out west. In Tulsa, I'm Oklahoma's own Sam Carrico.
We'll include more information on how you can donate inside this story at news9.com.
Coming up, we hear from Toby Keith's family. They come together as the major Oklahoma roadway is going to be dedicated in his honor. How the tribute became official and how the family is elated about it. It's next on News 9. Well, from the state capitol to the college campus, former Lieutenant Governor Todd Lamb has stepped into a new chapter. He's the president of UCO, and students on campus say he's everywhere. He's made his mark by being very visible and building relationships. In fact, he tells me one of his favorite ways to connect with his students is pretty simple, at the coffee shop.
We have a Starbucks on campus. And so I started this my first year. I'm in my third year as president now. When I go to Starbucks and there's a student in front of me, I buy that cup of coffee. And there's one behind me, I buy that cup of coffee. So here's what happened after the students caught on. Recently, I was there in line. I looked back, 8 students deep.
Oh my God! They're like, President Lamb's here.
And then I was running to give opening remarks to an event right there at the ballroom at our student
You're
center.
like, leave the credit card.
I gave my credit card to the barista, and they brought it back to my office later.
My conversation with Todd Lamb actually drops this morning on YouTube at 10:30. It's on Oklahoma's own original YouTube channel. There's the QR code. Hope you don't miss my latest podcast, In the Spotlight.
He goes where you can connect with kids.
And what I loved about it, he
straight
said
to it.
The student in front of him was from Oklahoma. The student behind him was from Honduras. And then he introduced them to each other. And that's how he helps the kids on campus build the relationships.
Very neat.
The only problem with that is that, like you said, when you're in a hurry, you can't go to a coffee shop real quick anymore.
He had like a $200 tab at the coffee shop.
He's like, why are these News 9 anchors in the line?
Thank you, President Lamb.
Hey, check in thunderstorms up in northern Oklahoma. We've got our Kyle Wilson out this morning. We'll have an update for you coming up here at 5 o'clock.
it's really beautiful to see that people are so interested in connecting, and that unity piece is very alive in this community, and the faith is so strong around here.
The Elgin community is starting to heal after a school bus crashes with 38 students on board. It happened on I-44. I'm Lacey Lowry. Right now at 5 o'clock, how neighbors are stepping in to help and how you can donate.
War in the Middle East is sending gas prices skyrocketing across the country. I'm Robin Marsh. What AAA says is causing the surging prices. A live report coming up.
And I'm Colby Thielen. Our big story today, storms in the state right now, the severe weather threat ahead of us this week. Megan Gold. Megan?
Thursday and Friday are definitely the days to watch, guys. Talking a wind, hail, and tornado threat. We'll talk all about it. Also, our Kyle Wilson is out on the roadways. An update from him coming up.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
Good Wednesday morning. Glad you're with us. We're going to talk with Megan about the timeline for those storms here in just a little bit. We do want to remind you that we are live right now on News 9's YouTube channel. You can just scan this QR code that we have hopefully popping up on your screen soon. That way you can go. Or you can just head to News 9.
There you go.
There it is.
All right.
YouTube.com/News9. And you can subscribe. You can leave any questions or comments in the live chat. We'll get to them throughout the morning.
We're a little slow on the draw this morning. It's
bit.
only 5 a.m. though.
It's raining, and that is something to celebrate.
Boy, I tell you, we need the moisture, and it's coming down pretty good in some parts. Megan, good morning.
Good morning. Kyle Wilson out on the roadways. He is traveling 412 out of Woodward and headed eastbound, reporting a lot of ponding on the roadways from all the moisture that is falling here on your Wednesday morning. There have been many spots up in northern Oklahoma that have picked up half of an inch to even an inch of rain, and that is not all the rain headed their way as we head into tomorrow and Friday. We'll talk more about it coming up. Let me take you back and show you the thunderstorms that went up just before midnight in the Texas Panhandle and lifting off to the north and east. They were severe with some hail up to the size of quarters, winds 50 to 60 miles per hour, but very heavy rain, only moving at about 35 miles per hour. And the slower a storm moves, the more rain you can pick up from it. There's Kyle's location right now. He's near Clio Springs, and again headed eastbound there on 412, eventually over to Oriena and Lahoma. We've got pockets of heavy rain in here. Lightning has come down significantly as all of this is trending down and weakening, but a stout little storm over Billings right now to Hunter, headed into the Lamont area, and this is now moving a little more easterly than northeasterly. Back down into portions of central Oklahoma, we have been dry all night long, and there is still the potential for some pockets of pea to maybe dime-size hail, but that is about it. We've had a new little thunderstorm go up right on top of Hitchcock. This is lifting north and east over portions of O'Keene, headed to, let's see, Cato and eventually Lacey. So there is a hail core there as well, and that may be our next severe thunderstorm. So quarter-size hail possible here in the metro, pockets of drizzle. Otherwise, we are dry. 46 is our temperature, 97% humidity. That cloud deck hanging in very low, and today is much cooler because of yesterday's cold front. Out ahead of that cold front, there will be more severe weather in the southeast later today, and here is the storm bringing in tomorrow and Friday's severe risk. We'll talk all about it coming up here in full weather.
Megan, thank you. Right now, Oklahoma City police need your help finding a missing 11-year-old. Officers say Haven Lachelle Neal was last seen leaving her house early Sunday morning. Police say that she was wearing a green hoodie, white jacket, gray sweatpants, and green Crocs. We also have her picture. This is the wrong picture here, but we'll have that available right now on the News 9 app. If you see her, if you have any information, call 911.
Go ahead and send me just about every available ambulance you've got that you can spare.
Praise the Lord, this could have been a lot worse. The quick action by our driver in particular just really, I think, made a difference, and so we're thankful today.
The Elgin community is supporting so many families after a school bus crashed with 38 students on board.
Yeah, and the two serious ones, the two students that were meta-flighted to Oklahoma City with injuries, they are expected to be okay. Everyone survived. It's really a miracle. Our Matt McCabe shows us how the Elgin community is supporting one another.
Another day comes for Elgin, still reeling after one of its buses plowed into by a semi. Katrina Thompson, owner of a t-shirt company, says there is a way for anybody to help out.
What we're doing is the first 1,000 t-shirts. Affinity is going to cover the cost of the shirt, all the printing, all of that, and 100% of that purchase price is going to go to these students.
On another end of town, Michael Damaris is staying late at his shop, Heritage Music in Luthery.
Dusty Devers has made this location available for anyone who wants to support the families of the children who were in that crash yesterday, to drop off care packages or anything to help console the families or help them in this time of need.
It's really beautiful to see that people are so interested in connecting, and that unity piece is very alive in this community, and the faith is so strong around here.
Faith wraps around the town, prayers pouring across social media, and Pastor Mike Keybone says every church in the nearby area has come together in prayer, with a special gathering on Monday night.
I couldn't believe the number of people. We didn't have the lights on, and it was just, we're in the dark on this football field, and just a huge part of our population circled up, sang some songs, and just prayed.
The prayers continue as the full needs of the families affected become more clear.
Matt McCabe, Oklahoma's Own, News 9.
That's a tight-knit community down there. Christina Thompson says the t-shirt sales have raised $4,000 so far to help families with medical expenses. At last check, the troopers say the semi-driver has not been cited for any violations. We will let you know if that changes.
And early this morning, a suspected DUI driver is arrested after the Oklahoma Highway Patrol says first they were driving the wrong way on I-35. Troopers said the driver then got onto the Turner Turnpike, also going the wrong direction, driving east in the westbound lanes. OHP says that driver may have been intoxicated. Fortunately, no one was hurt.
Police and more finally giving the all clear after finding a suspicious package at a gas station. Caused a lot of panic. Bob Mills Sky News 9 was flying over the scene as the bomb squad investigation unfolded at Main and Broadway yesterday. Officers say a man left an empty computer tower and a shoebox. No explosives were found. Police say the suspect's mental health will be evaluated. To Caddo County now, where a deputy is fired after he was arrested and charged with felony kidnapping and domestic abuse. Investigators say former deputy Logan Davis assaulted a woman during an argument and threw her into a TV stand. Officers say Davis also strangled, pointed a gun at her, and kept her phone and keys to stop her from leaving. He has since bonded out of jail.
5:07 right now. Human trafficking victims can now apply for financial compensation from the federal government. The Department of Justice set aside $200 million to support people who were sex trafficked through Backpage.com and CityX Guide. Both of those sites have been shut down. Here in Oklahoma City, the Dragonfly Home nonprofit is helping victims navigate the application process.
Victims are looking for assistance primarily with restitution for medical expenses, trauma therapy, dental expenses, tattoo removal, and lost wages.
Victims have until March 31st to apply. That information available right now at news9.com.
The Association of Oklahoma General Contractors says it is investigating social media threats made against officials working on Oklahoma Turnpike projects. The advocacy construction group called out Turnpike protesters, specifically those with the group Pike Off OTA, who have been a longtime opponent of Turnpike expansion projects in Norman and Cleveland County. The association claims that protesters have made death and bomb threats against OTA employees and sabotaged agency projects.
This is unacceptable, this is wrong, and it's illegal. And it's time for someone to call out these domestic terrorists.
That is Bobby Stem. He claims the Oklahoma Highway Patrol has investigated 19 instances of threats.
All right, let's take a live look downtown Oklahoma City from our Bob Mills Arena cam. Yep, they are making progress, clearing things out for the new $1 billion Thunder Arena. Crews continue hauling off over 100 loads of debris a day, making way for all the construction that is coming. The months-long road closures in the nearby area are expected to reopen tomorrow for a short time, but you know how it's going to be as we get through this project for the next year or so. All right, from the state capitol to the college campus, former Lieutenant Governor Todd Lamb has stepped into a new chapter of his life. He's the president of UCO in Edmond. And the students on campus say he is everywhere, making his mark, being very intentional about the students, building relationships. In fact, Todd Lamb tells me one of his favorite ways to connect with the students on campus is pretty much meet them at the coffee shop.
We have a Starbucks on campus. And so I started this my first year. I'm in my third year as president now. When I go to Starbucks and there's a student in front of me, I buy that cup of coffee. And there's one behind me, I buy that cup of coffee. So here's what happened after the students caught on. Recently, I was there in line. I looked back, 8 students deep.
Oh my God! They're like, President Lamb's here.
And then I was running to give opening remarks to an event right there at the ballroom at our student
You're
center.
like, leave the credit card.
I gave my credit card to the barista, and they brought it back to my office later.
All right, cup of coffee on him. My conversation with Todd Lamb in the Spotlight. The podcast drops this morning at 10:30. There's the QR code. You can scan that. It's actually on YouTube, Oklahoma's own original YouTube channel. I hope that you will enjoy that conversation.
Where's the Starbucks located?
Yeah, there you go. Right at Second there on campus. He's led such an interesting life. He was Secret Service, protecting presidents. He was lieutenant governor, and then in the private sector. And now he's the president at UCO. And he told me on 9/11, I said, how was that? Because he was working Secret Service. And you'll hear the conversation. It's very interesting. He said that he and one of his buddies had to go to a grocery store parking lot to pick up an informant.
Oh, wow.
And he talks about how they dove in the car. They were a nervous wreck, and you'll hear how that whole thing played out.
So many chapters to his
Yes,
life. That's
very
amazing.
interesting. Yeah. So 10:30 this morning.
Okay,
on
can't
YouTube.
wait.
Looking forward to that conversation. Right now, let's talk with Megan Gold. She's in the Bob Mills Weather Center. Megan, some storms firing off in the north part of the state this morning.
We have rain in the state, guys. That is a huge deal. Thunderstorms, they were severe a couple of hours ago. At this time, they have weakened, and they are still on a weakening trend, but a few additional thunderstorms are taking off, and those are a little closer to the metro. So the widespread rain continues for areas from Enid up to Cherokee and Ponca City, but there's the thunderstorm that's gone up. It went up over Hitchcock and now headed to Lacey and eventually over to Wacomas and Hennessy. It has some lightning and small hail. That may be a severe thunderstorm here in just a little bit. We'll talk about severe threats for today, tomorrow, and Friday. It's coming up.
Megan, thanks. That rain is certainly going to help so many farmers and ranchers in western Oklahoma. They're continuing to recover after they were devastated by those massive wildfires. Coming up, how the community is stepping up to help. We'll show you the story right after this.
Oh boy, it's nice to see something on the radar this morning. We need that rain.
It's amazing. So the showers that came through Oklahoma City yesterday were wimpy and didn't do much for us. A couple hundredths of an inch of rain, so not enough to really have an impact. This morning, though, the rainfall amounts are amazing, and we're grateful for that. And there are additional rainfall opportunities for those of you in western Oklahoma and northern Oklahoma as we go into your Thursday and Friday. So Woodward, just less than an inch, not bad at all. Up to May Ranch, just over half of an inch. Cherokee, just under an inch there as well. So the thunderstorms earlier this morning, they were severe. They had some pockets of some smaller sized hail and dime to quarters. And then they did have some gusty winds with them. More than anything, heavy rain and a lot of lightning. So earlier this morning, the storms are much more intense, and they have been on a gradual weakening trend, and they are slowly drifting off to the east-northeast. So we are grateful for the rain, I'll tell you that. We've got our Kyle Wilson out this morning for you, and this is a live look from his shot. And talking to him earlier this morning, he reported that there was some ponding on the roadways as he's traveling 412. And Kyle, I'm going to go over here and punch up your microphone real quick, and then let's get an update from you. Thanks so much for being out for us this morning. How is it as you're driving 412?
Hey, Megan. Headed east on 412, headed towards Enid right now. And like you said, the ponding on the roadway, we haven't had much moisture up here in a while, so people might have forgotten how to drive whenever you hydroplane. So just slow down on Highway 412 this morning. Back to you, Megan.
There we go. And we are grateful for the rain. That is for sure. So we'll take you back to Links 1. We have had a thunderstorm go up a little closer to the metro, but even then it is still well on the north side. And this storm does have a little hail core with it, may produce some dime to quarter size hail. It's moving out of O'Keene and off to the east from there. So heads up those of you Wacomas over to Bison and the Hennessy area, up and down Highway 81. Good rains with that as well. Back into the metro, some pockets of drizzle will be possible. It's not widespread. You'll drive in and out of it, but the majority of rain and thunderstorm chances are up to the north this morning and off to the east. So here's the big view. Again, all of this across the north with that one little thunderstorm going up a little farther down to the south. And there is Kyle's location just north of Oriena as he is headed eastbound towards Lahoma and Enid. All of this below severe limits. Here's our lightning count, and 81 strikes, so it continues to just trend down, but a lot of heavy rain. Be careful out on the roadways. Let's go ahead and talk about the next couple of days because we have additional threats. We have been watching Thursday and Friday specifically for quite some time now. We had a cold front come through yesterday, and we're cooler today as a result. There are severe chances down in southeastern Oklahoma as that cold front has stalled out down to the south and east. So the majority of the state does not have a severe threat today. It's tomorrow that areas to the west of I-35, there is a wind, hail, and a tornado threat along with your Friday. So those dynamics in place that supercells go up, they're going to go up in an environment that those storms will want to rotate, and rotating storms can produce large hail and also tornadoes, but not every rotating storm produces a tornado. So there's that storm coming on to the coast this morning. That is tomorrow and Friday's storm. Here in the metro, there's a live look from our American Fidelity camera. Again, some pockets of drizzle possible. And we do have our Brianna Brown out on the roadways as well this morning. And here's her look as she's driving in the metro on the northwest side. And it looks like her windshield is totally dry. So if she runs into any drizzle, we'll check in with her. But again, I think you're good to go if you are headed out here in the metro. We'll take you back to Links 1 temperatures. We've got 30s and 40s to the northwest. There's your cold front out ahead of it. Upper 60s at 5:19 in the morning. Winds behind the front gusty at about 10 to 20 miles per hour. So a 30 to a 40% chance for drizzle this morning. Higher chances across the north and east, and highs today from 81 degrees yesterday in OKC to 55 today. This afternoon, a slight chance for a few showers, stronger storms down to the south, talking a wind, hail, and a very low tornado threat. I think it's a very, very low threat, but it's not zero. Tomorrow, a south wind kicks in. And temperatures warm back up. And here's your threat for tomorrow evening and into the overnight. Southwestern Oklahoma and up to the north from there. And what this is showing you right here is rotating thunderstorms. So as those storms take off in the south and west, lift up to the north and to the east, again, we will watch them for that tornado threat. Same deal for your Friday afternoon and evening for areas east of the dry line. Your 9-day forecast, 3 more days to watch, 1 day next week, and overall the weekend looks pretty good, guys. Back over to you.
Rain in western Oklahoma certainly very much appreciated this morning. Ranchers there still recovering from the wildfires that burned more than 300,000 acres in northwest Oklahoma and the Panhandle.
Yeah, volunteers are stepping up to help by providing hay, feed, and fencing supplies so ranchers can continue to make ends meet.
They've got a year and a half to 2 years before this grass is ever going to get back to where it's going to have nutrition for the cattle.
Anthony Mayer says volunteer numbers have tripled after the first fire hit that area, but he says there's really just still a long way to go. And we will include information on how you can donate and help inside this story. You can find that information on our website, news9.com.
A new $40 million animal welfare center is taking shape in Oklahoma City, and you paid for it. When it will be up and running, it's next on 9.
Welcome back. A new $42 million Metro Animal Welfare Center funded by MAPS 4 is officially halfway done. The Louisa McCune Animal Welfare Center held its topping out ceremony yesterday. This center is a part of a mission to make OKC safer for residents and for pets. The 70,000 square foot center is scheduled to be completed this fall.
There you go. Maps $4 at work right there.
Yeah, they're making progress on it, that's for sure.
There you go.
All right, making progress on some rain coming into the state. Desperately needed it. Megan is here with the forecast. Good Wednesday morning, Megan.
Good morning, guys. We had several severe thunderstorms early this morning, right after midnight. All of those storms have weakened, but still heavy rain and some lightning continuing up across northern Oklahoma. The metro, we have been dry, but a little drizzle possible. It's not widespread, but be safe as you hit the roadways, especially up into northern Oklahoma. Watching a little strong storm headed into Wacomas this morning up towards Vance Air Force Base. And again, the heaviest of the rain up across the north. More severe threats today, tomorrow, and Friday. We'll talk all about it coming up.
Pain at the pump. Gas prices are soaring fast, and experts say a major part of that is due to the tensions with Iran. Coming up, I have what this means for your wallet.
You're watching Oklahoma's Own News 9 this morning.
Your top stories now at 5:30. Oklahoma City Police need your help finding this missing 11-year-old. Officers say Haven Lachelle Neal was last seen leaving her house early Sunday morning. Here's her picture. Police say that she was wearing a green Spider-Man hoodie, a white jacket, gray sweatpants, and green Crocs. If you have any information, if you recognize her, if you see her, you're asked to call 911.
And early this morning, OHP says a driver is arrested, believed to be under the influence. The Highway Patrol says the driver was going the wrong way, first on I-35, then getting onto the Turner Turnpike. Troopers say the driver was westbound in the eastbound lanes on the Turner Turnpike. The Highway Patrol says the driver possibly was intoxicated. No one was hurt, but the driver has been taken to jail.
2 Elgin students are expected to be okay after they were badly injured in a school bus crash. Troopers say a semi-truck trailer rear-ended the bus on I-44 near Lawton as the bus was taking 38 students home. Those 2 students badly injured. They're going to be okay. The community is now stepping up to raise money for medical expenses and drop off care packages for families. We have those details if you'd like to help out at news9.com. And we are live streaming this morning on our YouTube channel. You can scan this QR code. It'll take you straight to the stream. We ask that you subscribe and then leave us a comment in the live chat. We will read some of those later on in the newscast. A lot of folks already saying loving this rain.
Absolutely. And the questions, what's coming next over the next couple of days?
We got a couple of days to get through and to be weather aware, it sounds like. Megan, good morning.
Good morning. So this is really storm system number 1 for your Tuesday night into your Wednesday. And storm number 2 is coming in from the west and will bring severe threats for your Thursday and your Friday. This is a live look across our Lucky Stars Skycam network. Notice visibility quite low. We've got a lot of low level moisture, very humid out the door. And we do have some pockets of drizzle, very hit or miss. That's why we have our Brianna Brown out on the roadways for you, trying to track that drizzle and see if she can find any of it. And it looks like maybe some there on her windshield. So we'll get an update from her coming up here in just a few minutes. We'll take you to the radar. We had several severe thunderstorms up in northern Oklahoma this morning. Also, our Kyle Wilson out on the roadways. And other than that drizzle, we have been totally dry here in Oklahoma City. We do have one thunderstorm that has gone up, and it's been intense at times with lightning and heavy rain. The strongest part of that storm down Highway 81 south of Wacomas, and good rains falling over Enid right now, headed to Fairmont and Garber over to Fairview, Canton Lake. It's possible you see some pea to dime size hail in some of those storms, but overall these have all been on a weakening trend. So thunderstorms continue across northern Oklahoma from Medford to Ponca City over to Fairfax and eventually off into our sister station's viewing area, but heavy rain and lots of lightning with these thunderstorms, and again, not seeing much in the way of hail. This is showing you storm strength, so overall these storms are just not all that strong. They're kind of those garden variety type of thunderstorms. Here in the metro right now, again, watching for some areas of drizzle, and we will check in with Brianna here in a second. There's the Broadway extension. 46 is our temperature. 41 is what it feels like, and there's yesterday's cold front. 40s back to the west, and out ahead of it, upper 60s. A north wind that's pretty breezy, and that next storm is coming in from the west and brings in severe chances with a tornado threat for your Thursday and Friday. We will talk all about it coming up here in Big Weather, guys. Back to you.
Now to the latest on the war with Iran. The Pentagon releasing the names and photos of 4 American soldiers who were killed by an Iranian strike in Kuwait. We now know one of those trained at one point at Fort Sill here in Oklahoma. Iran's state media says ceremonies will be held starting today for the country's former supreme leader killed in the strikes. These are the U.S. troops on your screen who lost their lives. Meanwhile, Congress may vote on a war powers resolution this week, which would require congressional approval for further military action against Iran.
Oklahoma's U.S. Senator Markwayne Mullin serves as a member of the Senate Armed Services Committee, and our Washington Bureau Chief Alex Cameron asked him about those concerns that this war could look similar to the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah, Senator Mullin does say this is different because the strikes were about stopping Iran's imminent threat on the U.S.
During the negotiations, Iran openly bragged about them having enough fuel, meaning enriched uranium, to be able to make 11 nuclear weapons. Well, that's a huge threat. That's an immediate threat at that point, because we know they would want to use it on the assets around there, even if they couldn't make it into the homeland. But they're working on a delivery system, a missile that could possibly go to the United States.
And as the conflict in the Middle East continues going into its 5th day, we know one concern: rising gas prices at the pump.
Our Kylie Dedman joins us live. She spoke with AAA Oklahoma about the reasons behind this surge. Kylie?
Well, this time of the year, it's normal for gas prices to go up. It's the changing of the blends, supply and demand goes up due to spring break. But right now and this time around, the thing that's really making gas prices soar is the new war with Iran. Now, CBS News reports Iran is targeting ships and energy infrastructure in the region. Oil fields across the Middle East are shutting down after a refinery in Saudi Arabia was struck. And in Qatar, natural gas production is being paused. Taking a look at the numbers, this is the first time since November that the national average gas price has risen above $3. Back home, the average is about $2.73, still making it one of the lowest average gas prices in America. But compared to just a week ago, we have jumped almost 35 cents.
The increase in crude oil prices directly translates to the increases we're seeing at the gas pumps. Crude oil makes up about 60% of the cost of each gallon of gasoline, and so it's a big part of that.
And it's not just the ground transportation that is being affected. Stewart says passengers taking to the skies will also be impacted as jet fuel is part of the process with crude oil increasing. Now, Stewart also wants to remind drivers that prices will fluctuate depending on other factors and, of course, the changing of the blends. Reporting live, Kylie Dedman, Oklahoma's own News 9.
All right, Kylie, thank you. And we do have tips for how you can improve gas mileage in your car with this story over at news9.com.
Your time now, 5:37. Time for a traffic check. Our Brianna Brown is out and about watching the roads. Brianna, where are you and how's it looking? Brianna, can you hear us? Okay, we're going to check Brianna's microphone, but she did say earlier in our team chat that everything looks good. Brianna, we'll check with you here in a little bit. I want to make sure that we get your information.
All right, we'll go ahead and move on with other headlines. A Honduran man here in the metro will spend more than 6 years in federal prison for dragging an ICE agent with his car. It happened in Oklahoma City. Investigators say Jose Melgar Rivas sped off during a traffic stop in July in Oklahoma while the agent was pinned on the driver's side door. Federal officials say Rivas was in the U.S. illegally. The DOJ says he will be deported back to Honduras after serving his sentence here in Oklahoma.
In 538, taking a live look from our U.S. Capitol this morning, the Department of Public Safety Commissioner here in Oklahoma, Tim Tipton, will speak in front of Congress today about our state's efforts through Operation Guardian. That was that joint effort between the Oklahoma Highway Patrol and ICE that targets undocumented immigrants who use fake or out-of-state commercial driver's licenses.
It's time to eliminate the OSSAA and secure our progress with open transfer.
That was the governor's call to get rid of the state's sports association, but a bill to do that has failed at the state capitol. That bill would have added a new committee made up of parents and high school students. They would have made the final decision on hardship waivers, which would allow transfer students to play immediately instead of sitting out a year. The bill ultimately failed to pass out of committee with a 4-6 vote.
I just want to reiterate, I don't want to take over the OSSAA. I would love for them to be more responsive to their members.
The OSSAA says it respects the committee's thoughtful role and appreciate attention given to matters that directly affect students and schools.
Well, there's been a lot of debate on that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, especially with the transfer. But you still have to have some guidance and some oversight for schools and the sports.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not the last time that we'll be talking about
I know.
these
We'll reach out to the
changes.
governor, too, and see what he thinks about
There you
it.
go. We're reaching out to Megan Gold right now. She's watching the forecast. Got a little rain out there on a Wednesday morning.
We do. Thunderstorms up in northern Oklahoma here in the metro metro, some pockets of very light drizzle. We'll have a chance for a few showers and sprinkles into the afternoon, but the bulk of the rain and storms today will be off to our east and southeast. Low visibility as you hit the roadways this morning. Again, a little bit of drizzle on the windshield shouldn't cause you any problems. 46 is our temperature right now, and continuing to see a weakening trend of thunderstorms up in the north. This afternoon, the threat down in southeastern Oklahoma, but that expands into the west and the metros. We go to Thursday and Friday with a tornado threat. We'll talk all about it coming up.
Our eyes are on the end of the week, certainly thinking about the storms up north this morning, right. But when we're talking about the metro, what's going to happen tomorrow? What's going to happen Friday?
Right, so on tomorrow, what day is it?
It's Wednesday.
Tomorrow, Thursday, tomorrow. So tomorrow the threat is highest west of I-35, especially down into southwestern and western Oklahoma. The biggest question is, do those storms make it into the metro? Some of the latest data says they do, and if they're strong enough and intense enough as they move eastward, they won't weaken and we will have that threat for a low tornado threat here in the metro tomorrow. So your Thursday and your Friday really are the bigger risk days. Today, the threat is actually down in southeastern Oklahoma. So we'll continue with thunderstorms up across the north this morning. They were severe several hours ago, all below severe limits right now. And then the cold front is down in the south and east. And that's why we have that threat in the southeast, mainly out of our viewing area. So for tomorrow, Thursday, a wind, hail, and a low tornado threat. Supercells and supercells can produce very large hail, and again, they're rotating thunderstorms, so a tornado or two. And then Friday, the dry line sets up in western Oklahoma, and it is more of a statewide risk, where there are more of us that are under that risk for severe weather. So we'll talk all about that here in just a minute. Here's the big view this morning. These storms started out in the Texas Panhandle, lifted to the north and east, and Woodward to May, Buffalo, severe thunderstorms there. Woodward picked up just under ½ of an inch of rain this morning, which is amazing. We need the rain. Here in the metro, we have been mostly dry, but there have been some areas of drizzle. You'll drive in and out of it. It's not all that heavy. It shouldn't cause us big issues, but there will be the chance for a few showers to develop, very hit or miss, through the morning and into the afternoon. And really, your entire 9-day is filled with mostly cloudy to cloudy conditions, maybe a sunny day here or there. So we'll be locked in with the clouds today. Here's the view across northern Oklahoma, all of this below severe limits, and we do have several aerial flood advisories. I mean, when was the last time we had that? Because we had so much rain falling. So this isn't moving all that quickly as it lifts off to the east-northeast, and as it does in some of the pockets of the heavier rain, you can easily pick up an inch of rain an hour, which is amazing. So from Kremlin down to Garver, Covington, over to Billings, that's kind of where our most intense thunderstorms are this morning. You go in a little closer down to the Douglas area, and again, Covington, all of this kind of moving out of the Enid area. And Enid is where we have our Kyle Wilson out this morning. Kyle, you've been traveling for 12. I know you've had lightning. You've had some moderate rain. It looks like overall things are really on a weakening trend, but you did mention ponding on the roadways. What is your advice for anybody traveling up in northern Oklahoma this morning?
Yep, just like you said, Megan, the ponding on the roadway on Highway 412, we haven't had that in quite a while, so the hydroplaning is not very much fun. Just slow down on Highway 412 if you're traveling from Woodward to Enid this morning. Back to you, Megan.
There we go. Thanks for being out this morning, and so glad to see you tracking thunderstorms instead of fires. It is a welcome thing here on our Wednesday morning, like Wednesday, Thursday. Thank you, guys. We'll take you back to Links 1 and show you as all of this moves off to the east, Blackwell to Ponca City, Burbank, and off into our sister stations viewing area. Very little, I mean, really no hail showing up right now. So heavy rain is going to be your biggest hazard out on the roadways, and as all of this continues with its weakening trend. So drizzle here in the metro. All of this is going to end from the west to the east and move off to northeastern and eastern Oklahoma. This afternoon, much cooler than what we had yesterday, from the 80s to the 50s today, and out ahead of that cold front, there will be temperatures in the 70s, and that's where we'll have strong storm opportunities. Our severe threat out ahead of the cold front, 3 o'clock on into the overnight hours, golf ball size hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds, and a very low tornado threat. So it's not zero, but it is definitely not high. Our next storm, bringing in our severe threat for your Thursday and Friday, is coming onto the coast this morning, and that will drive our next round of severe storms. Let me show you future next gen for your Thursday evening into the overnight. Supercells are going to take off in the southwest, and these are going to lift off to the north and east, and this is where we'll have a tornado risk. We'll watch to see if those storms can make it into Oklahoma City or not. They may weaken, and then we have additional thunderstorm chances as we go Thursday evening and into the overnight, and we will have just enough instability for those storms to be an issue. Here's the live look from our Lucky Star Skycam network. 46 is our temperature right now, and tomorrow we crank it back up to the 70s. South winds pumping in moisture. There's your threat for Thursday, western Oklahoma, and that expands into central Oklahoma for your Friday. Your 9-day forecast, no severe threats this weekend. Another storm with severe threats next week.
All right, 5:49. We're going to check back in with Brianna Brown, see if we can hear her this time for that traffic report. Hey, Brianna, where are you?
Yes, we're here on Interstate 40 going eastbound. We're approaching Westminster Road here. Now we're actually on our way to a reported crash that's on Choctaw Road. So we're about 5 minutes from this crash. It seems like this might be a minor crash, but as far as how this morning has gone, we have not responded to any other crashes so far. We've seen maybe some slight drizzle on the north side of the metro when we were up there kind of tracking traffic, but traffic is moving just fine, as you can see. Even going the westbound lanes too are moving fine, and we're going east right now, but we're going to keep you updated here on this wreck. Again, this wreck is on Choctaw Road here and Interstate 40 going east. We'll keep you updated once we get more information on that. You'll stick with News 9 here reporting on I-40. Brianna Brown with Oklahoma's Own News 9.
All right, Brianna, I know you'll keep us up to date on the situation. We'll be out there in just a few minutes. Coming up next, the Turnpike Authority is officially renaming the new Turnpike after Toby Keith. His family is there. How the family is so excited about it. It's next.
Welcome back. We are streaming live on our YouTube channel, and we ask you to subscribe, to leave a comment. Here's what you said. Davina says, good morning. So nice to see my crew every morning.
Good morning.
We're glad
Hi,
you're with us, Davina.
Matthew says, we love everyone at News 9. We are new to the Oklahoma City area. Just moved from Wichita. Oklahoma is so much better.
Hey,
right.
there you go,
Welcome,
Matthew. Hey, Carolyn says, ready to rescue Grandma from the casino. Thank you to the weather experts for all you do. We are watching severe weather this week.
Mima, you can play the slots
Grandma's
later.
got to get her free play in, right?
I don't know, win some money, be saved. Which one? I do really wonder how many people are watching, and you can chime in the chat, watching their TV and then also watching on YouTube.
I think a
then you
lot.
can live chat.
I think a lot,
It's fun.
yeah.
You can talk to us. like Texas.
That's how I watch TV now. Too many screens.
Yeah, I got multiple going.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Hey, so today the good news is no severe risk for Oklahoma City. The threat is actually down in southeastern Oklahoma, so that cold front has stalled out in the south and east, and the morning storms continue moving off into northeastern Oklahoma, and then we'll have additional storms taking off down in the southeast later this evening. The bigger threats come in for our viewing area for your Thursday and your Friday. So again, here is today's risk. It does include Ardmore, Durant, down to Idabel and McAllister. So if you've got friends or family there, make sure they're dialed in. Today is much cooler than yesterday, from the 80s to the 50s with a north breeze and mostly cloudy skies. We'll talk more about the tornado threat for tomorrow and Friday coming up.
And something good to start your morning. The Oklahoma Turnpike Authority has officially approved a resolution to name the Turnpike expansion project in Norman from I-44 all the way over to I-35 after Toby Keith. The new connector between 44 and 35 from Moore to Norman will be named the Toby Keith Expressway. People at the meeting raised the red Solo cups in his honor, and Toby's family is elated.
Well, I hope I don't get a ticket on the Toby Keith Expressway, but I think the first time we get on will be, a joyous moment for sure.
Love hearing from his family. There they are holding the Toby Keith Expressway sign. His wife Tricia there right next to Steelan, his son, and Crystal, their daughter, there as well. The whole family. And his wife messaged me the other day and just said they are thrilled and very honored.
So happy for their family. It's bittersweet, but I know they'll be proud to see that name up. I love the red Solo cup right there.
Come fill me up.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Hey, still to come this morning, war in the Middle East is raising gas prices across the nation. Have you noticed what AAA says is the cause behind all of this? It's coming up at 6.
Go ahead and send me just about every available ambulance you've got that you can spare.
Wow, we're hearing those 911 calls after a crash involving an Elgin school bus. I'm Colby Thielen right now on News 9 at 6. We also hear from the Elgin superintendent who says it could have been much worse.
I'm Lacey Lowry. Gas prices are starting to go up due to the military campaign in Iran. Have you noticed? Coming up, we speak to AAA about what Oklahomans can expect over the next couple of weeks.
And good morning, I'm Robin Marsh. We can tell you rain is falling across the state. This is a live look up near the Enid area this morning. Meteorologist Megan Gold has our trackers already out and about. And what's the severe weather coming and the timeline? She has the forecast up next.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
And good morning, everyone. Thanks for choosing News 9. We want to take you out to I-40 near Choctaw Road. We've had a little bit of a snag out there. The good news, we are hearing that this is clearing away as we've been watching the traffic there very heavy in the construction zone. There was a wreck. One highway patrol trooper is still on the scene, but our crew telling us everyone else has left. So just a little slow going. This is right close to Choctaw Road near the I-240 split. If you're coming into the metro, the westbound lanes, we will talk with our tracker who's out there coming up in just a moment.
We do say good morning to you on this Wednesday. Some folks in Oklahoma actually seeing rain this morning.
Yeah, it's up north. I think some of our trackers saw some drizzle, light drizzle here in the metro, but up north is really where they're getting the action. Let's turn to Megan Gold. Hey, Megan.
Hey, guys. Drizzle possible here in the metro later today. A few spotty showers. Nothing crazy widespread. The widespread rain and storms have been up in northern Oklahoma, and the rainfall amounts have been probably amazing to wake up to. For those of you in Woodward over to Alva, many spots picking up half of an inch to an inch and a half to even 2 inches of rain. And this is radar estimated, but from Alva back to Anoka to Woodward up to Buffalo and Freedom and in some of those stronger thunderstorms, again, some of those higher totals. And we need more of this, more of it statewide. So taking you back, storms took off in the Texas Panhandle and really built into the northern part of the state, lifting off to the north and to the north and east, and everything is well below severe limits here on your Wednesday morning. Here in the metro, again, some pockets of drizzle, but it is not widespread. The widespread stuff is all up to the north. We've had our Kyle Wilson out this morning, and he's been keeping an eye on moderate rain. There is still some pockets of some heavy rain from, let's see, the Red Rock area down to Perry, up and down I-35 to Blackwell, and that is all building off into northeastern Oklahoma. This is showing you storm strength and not much there. Very weak at this time, which is good news. No severe weather at 6:03. Visibility is reduced here in the metro. This is a live look from our Lucky Star Skycam network. 46 is our temperature and it feels like 41, 97% humidity. Clinton, 46 degrees there, down to Hobart compared to 54 in Ada. Durant, 69 degrees and 49 in Stillwater, out ahead of that front. So winds back behind the cold front out of the north and out ahead of it out of the south. That cold front will spark additional severe thunderstorms in southeastern Oklahoma later today. But for the majority of our viewing area, our next severe risk is coming in from this storm right here, bringing a tornado threat for your Thursday and Friday. We'll talk about it coming up.
Megan, thanks so much. A traffic alert. We've had a little bit of a commotion out on the east side of Oklahoma City. Let's get out to I-40 near Choctaw. There is Brianna Brown. Traffic is a little tight out there right now, Brianna.
That's right, Robin. Yes, a crash actually just cleared here on Interstate 40 near Choctaw Road. Now, you're taking a look at the westbound lanes, and this is where that backup was from that crash here. Now, like I said, that crash is cleared. Looks like it was a minor crash, no injuries involved in this one, but it did cause some backup here in the westbound lanes, kind of going towards the 240 exit and 40 going west, but that crash is cleared, so there's traffic is starting to move a little bit better now. We were caught in that a little bit, and as you can see, there's quite a bit of traffic that was backed up with this crash. Outside of that, traffic has been moving pretty well so far in the metro. We haven't seen much drizzle either on this side of the metro, mostly on the north side. We saw some drizzle earlier this morning, but we'll keep you updated here. Like I said, that crash is clear here on I-40 near Choctaw Road, but we'll keep you updated with News 9. Send it back to you guys.
Go ahead and send me just about every available ambulance you've got that you can spare.
I'm clear. Be advised, I've got multiple birds landing. I will need LZs.
Well, this morning we were hearing those 911 calls after a semi rear ends an Elgin school bus on I-44 right near Lawton, injuring multiple students. A total of 38 on board. The Elgin superintendent says 2 elementary students had to be medi-flighted to a hospital here in Oklahoma City. The Highway Patrol says 12 others were checked out at a hospital in Lawton. We did speak with the Elgin superintendent yesterday at 9 a.m. He says it could have been a lot worse.
They did take a hard impact, but of course he prevented the bus from rolling over. Nobody was ejected. It's just a great move by him.
The superintendent says that he is thankful for first responders who jumped into action. And more police get the all clear after a bomb squad confirmed suspicious device found didn't contain any explosives. Mason Dunn and Bob Mills Sky News 9 were above that scene yesterday. This was right near Broadway in Maine. Investigators say a man left an empty computer tower and a shoebox inside a gas station. They say the suspect is in custody now and will be given a mental health evaluation.
The Pentagon identifies 4 U.S. service members killed over the weekend when a drone from Iran hit a command center in Kuwait. We now know one of the soldiers, Sergeant Declan Cody, actually trained at Fort Sill in Oklahoma at one point. He and his fallen comrades were all based out of Iowa. News 9 Washington Bureau Chief Alex Cameron spoke with Senator Markwayne Mullin, who says the nuclear threat in Iran was immediate, but the U.S. is not going to occupy Iran.
We're not at war with the people there. We're taking out a regime that has been using the wealth of Iran to fund the terror organizations around the world.
Senator Mullin, who is a member of the Senate Armed Services Committee, says there are no current plans to deploy troops to Iran either. Because of what is happening in the Middle East, gas prices have gone up nationwide. Coming up in our 6:30 half hour, our Kylie Dedman talks about the reason behind this.
We'll switch gears, talk a little sports on your Wednesday morning, and the Thunder win it on the road in Chicago last night. In fact, the Thunder bench stepped up big time for the team. We were actually without 3 of our starters. Oklahoma City wins at 116-108. Here's Thunder reporter Steve McGehee.
Chicago puts up a fight against the Thunder. It was a close game. After 2 quarters of play, Oklahoma City pulls away somewhat in the third quarter, outscoring the Bulls by 10 points. Chicago made it interesting late. Jalen Williams, J-Will, 17 points, 16 boards. Nice double-double. Jared McCain off the bench with 4 threes. Aaron Wiggins getting the start. He was plus 17. That's pretty good when he was in the game. Here's Mark Degnault on Aaron Wiggins.
He was more like himself tonight. You know, he was aggressive. You know, he shot 17 shots, and I thought most of them were pretty good. And, you know, like I said, we're going to need everybody, and not everybody's playing their best basketball every minute of the season. It's always ebbing and flowing, but we try to hang in there with our players and put them in situations where they can perform well. And he did a good job. He came around tonight. He played good defense. He played a good floor game. He scored the ball.
17 for Cason Wallace, 19 for Isaiah Joe. McCain led all the Thunder players with 20 points. Oklahoma City back at work tonight at the Garden, Madison Square Garden, 6 o'clock start Oklahoma time against the New York Knicks. At the moment, OKC with the best record in the NBA, with Detroit losing last night. From United Center in Chicago, Steve McGehee, Oklahoma Zone.
All right.
Way to get it done. And getting it done on Steve's birthday.
Yeah, on the road, on your birthday, and the big win for Steve.
Picked it up. I don't know the last time we had a full team not injured playing together. Almost every game this season. Just incredible. They're best record right now.
Yeah,
so
the bench
hopefully
is,
it stays that way.
They're coming. They're stepping up, aren't they?
It's making everyone really step up.
When you have to, you have to. I tell you what, Megan's been stepping up too, tracking all of these storms across northern Oklahoma overnight into this morning. Megan, good morning.
Good morning.
That was sweet. We did have severe storms up in the northwest. Guys, amazing rain. Grateful to have rain in the state this morning, and everything has significantly weakened. Now just rain and thunder. We'll talk all about that coming up, but here's a live look from downtown Oklahoma City. Very low visibility, especially up off the surface, and about a 40% chance for some drizzle this morning. Higher chances for those storms as the rain ends from the west to the east. This afternoon, strong storms in southeastern Oklahoma and a chance for a few showers here in OKC. More on severe threats for the rest of the week. It's coming up.
All right, Megan, thanks. Here at News 9, we like to honor those teachers who are making a big impact in the classroom.
This morning, we are honoring Cassie Flora from Shawnee Early Childhood Center. The person who nominated her says she works tirelessly to make sure her students learn to love school. Thank you, Mrs. Flora.
Congratulations. And do you know an educator doing great things in the classroom? Nominate them to be an impactful teacher. Visit our website, news9.com/teacher to nominate. All right, bus stop forecast time on a Wednesday morning, and the next few days going to have to be weather aware out there.
Absolutely. Thankfully, most of it will come in during the evening, the overnight hours, but we'll still have storms in the morning a lot of times. So for the bus stoppers this morning, northern Oklahoma, you'll definitely want the rain gear. Here in the metro, a little drizzle. Pockets of it is not widespread, but into the afternoon, a slight chance for a few showers. And control room, I didn't ask for this, but if you love me, it would be amazing if we could pop up our Brianna Brown shot. Just whenever you get a chance, I would love to show her shot because she does have a little drizzle. And if not, If not, that's okay. There it is. You guys are amazing. Thank you. I need to buy you a donut or something. So again, here in the metro, notice just a few sprinkles there on the windshield. That's our Brianna Brown. Keeping an eye on traffic for you this morning. Otherwise, we are dry in the metro and really just slight chances for showers into the afternoon. Thanks, control room. You're amazing. Okay, let's take it back to Links 1. And I want to walk you through day by day what we're expecting because we are still kind of in the middle of this active pattern. Today is cooler. We made it to 81 degrees yesterday in OKC. The cold front came through, temperatures dropped very quickly back behind it. That cold front is now down in southeastern Oklahoma and will bring additional threats to the southeast later today. So that does not include Oklahoma City, western Oklahoma, or the north. Now tomorrow, western Oklahoma, your threat for severe weather is the highest it'll be all week. Friday, it's more of a statewide risk, but western Oklahoma, most of you will be west of the dry line. So tomorrow and Friday are really the days to watch. A chance for some showers on Saturday, but most of the weekend looks amazing. And then we have another storm that comes in for next week with additional threats, but long ways to go. We'll deal with it when we get there. For today, again, threats down to the south and east, a very, very low tornado threat down there. Could have some large hail and some damaging winds. The storm that brings us the threat for your Thursday and your Friday is still well off to the west, and the ingredients are there for these storms to go up into an environment where they will be conducive to rotating, strong updrafts. That means large hail. And just because a storm rotates does not mean that it does produce a tornado, but a rotating storm is definitely a dangerous storm. So there's a moderate threat there. Some of the latest data coming in this morning brings some of those storms into Oklahoma City. We will fine tune this as we get a little closer, but starting about 6 o'clock, we'll watch for these storms to go up and quickly become supercells. So there is a low tornado threat there. The big question, will those storms stay strong as they come into Oklahoma City, or will they weaken? On Friday, a little bit of a different setup. There's your dry line. Areas to the west, you're out of the threat, but the air is very dry, hence the name the dry line. And there'll be a fire danger back to the west of that dry line. And this area here in orange will be where we'll watch for large hail and a low tornado threat. So that will change as well as we really fine tune this day by day. So you've got to stay plugged in. In terms of this morning, here's rainfall amounts over the past 6 or 7 hours. And this is radar estimated. So many spots picking up at least half of an inch to an inch of rain in some of the pockets of the heavier rain over kind of areas near Cherokee, south of Alva on 281. 2 inches of rain. So a really, really good rain for northern Oklahoma. Maybe didn't get a good night's sleep because it was noisy, but hopefully worth it. We've had a few additional showers go up down near Ada on the west sides of McAllister over to Dustin and Henrietta, Oklahoma City. Again, we've been dry, but as you saw from Brianna's shot, some drizzle out there this morning. So a few sprinkles on the roadway or on the windshield, but nothing heavy that's going to really slow you down or cause big issues. So there are your showers that are going up over Stonewall, Roth, Ada, over to Stewart, Allen, and Henrietta. And then up to the north, this is where our Kyle Wilson has been this morning. And all of this continues to be on a weakening trend. Still some pockets of heavy rain over Stillwater to Glencoe on the northern sides of Guthrie. And all of this is moving off into our sister station's viewing area. So everything is ending from the west to the east. Thunderstorm chances highest across the northeast and the east this afternoon, a 30% chance for a few showers. A lot of us will stay dry and strong storms down to the south. There's the live look from our Lucky Stars Skycam network. 46 is our temperature, and we're going to fight the clouds once again today. There's your front. Look at temperatures out ahead of it. So very warm with a north wind back behind it. And today, much cooler than yesterday. 50s back behind the front, out ahead of it. Temperatures in the 70s. And tomorrow, south wind returns. It'll be gusty, cranking in that Gulf moisture. We're back to the 70s for our highs. So 9-day forecast here. Again, 3 more days to be weather aware. We get a slight break. Cold front comes through Friday night into Saturday. We're cooler Saturday, and we set our clocks forward an hour as we spring forward with the beginning of daylight saving. Guys, back to you.
Your time now, 6:19. Here are some nationwide headlines we're following. The Georgia man whose son is accused of carrying out a deadly school shooting is found guilty of second-degree murder. This is the third time a parent has been charged for their connection to a mass shooting. Colin Gray's son, Colt, is charged with killing 2 teachers and 2 students, injuring 9 others. The son has not gone to trial yet.
President Donald Trump hosts the Chancellor of Germany at the White House after criticism from Democratic lawmakers for his decision to attack Iran without seeking congressional approval. A new poll finds 62% of Americans polled do not believe the U.S. goals in the conflict have been explained.
Gas prices rise amid strikes in the Middle East. Gas Buddy says the average price of a regular unleaded gas was roughly $3.17 yesterday, an 11-cent jump from the day before. And if you're filling up and heading out, let's get a look at traffic here on the Lucky Star Skycam network. First, we're looking at our Integris cam. That's Northwest Expressway and Lake Hefner Parkway, followed by I-40 and Douglas, the Broadway extension, and then down in the bottom, that's the Christensen cam. That is the Turnpike this morning. So visibility looks like it's getting a little better, but still kind of low out there as the low clouds hanging around. So buckle up and drive safe. We'll check back in with our trackers that are out on the roads throughout the morning. Coming up, a road named after music legend Toby Keith. After the break, we're going to hear from his family on what this means to them. We're back after this.
Welcome back. The Oklahoma Turnpike Authority names a piece of the new Turnpike corridor honoring country music legend Toby Keith. It's the final step in naming that connector between I-44 and I-35. So it'll be called the Toby Keith Expressway. The House and Senate passed the resolution last week.
Naming this expressway in his honor is a small tribute compared to the enormous legacy he leaves behind, but it's only fitting that his accomplishments and patriotism be remembered for generations to come.
Construction on the new piece of the Turnpike is expected to start next year. His family was there for the honor yesterday. They are elated about it.
I love how his son said, I hope I don't get pulled over for speeding on my dad's expressway.
I think Toby might be proud of him, you know?
There's a song there somewhere.
That might be just a warning. I think you're okay.
All right, let's get over to Megan for the outdoor forecast. What do you have for us, Megan?
Hey, good morning, guys. Well, nothing all that fun other than just a check on the roadways. I know so many people waking up wondering how things are in the metro. This is a view from our Brianna Brown as she's keeping an eye on traffic conditions. We've had some areas of drizzle here in the metro. It is not causing big issues out on the roadways. You may notice a little mist or, again, a few droplets on the windshield, but other than that, you are good to go. The bulk of the rain has been up in northern Oklahoma. Let me show you your outdoor forecast for today. The cloud cover hangs in very tough and a slight chance for a few showers as we go into the afternoon. Higher chances for severe weather down out ahead of the cold front in southeastern Oklahoma, and from 81 degrees yesterday to 55 today, it is a much cooler day. More severe threats on the way for your Thursday and your Friday. I've also got that weekend forecast coming up.
Megan, thanks. Also coming up, Oklahoma Attorney General Gettner Drummond pushing back after the accused ringleader of a billion-dollar drug operation is simply given a $100,000 bond. Why the AG says that's not even close to the alleged damage he's done. Back after this.
You're watching Oklahoma's own News 9 This Morning.
6:30 right now. More police give the all clear after a bomb squad confirms a suspicious device didn't have any explosives. But investigators say a man left an empty computer tower and shoebox inside a gas station near Main and Broadway down in Moore yesterday. They say that suspect is in custody and will be given a mental health evaluation.
Oklahoma City police identified the 2 suspects involved in a chase that ended near Southwest 59th and Blackwelder yesterday morning. Officers say they tried to pull over the driver, Joel Almingor and Arturo Cruz. When they sped away, police had to use a tactical maneuver and the 2 men were arrested.
And a man accused of shooting another man who was trying to get into a building near Northwest 10th and Mustang is now booked for assault. Police say the shooter, Stephen Parks, shot the man around 6:30 Monday night. The victim was taken to the hospital in critical condition. We're trying to find out more details on the backstory of this. We'll be following that case.
We're watching the weather 6:30 on a Wednesday morning and a couple of days to be weather aware. Megan, good morning.
Good morning, guys. The threat for severe weather shifts down into southeastern Oklahoma with the cold front later today, and then tomorrow areas west of I-35 and Friday areas east of the dry line, which includes central Oklahoma, both your Thursday and Friday. We'll talk all about it coming up. We've had our Kyle Wilson out this morning. We had several severe storms up in northern Oklahoma. The rain has been amazing, and we just need more of it. All of this has weakened. In the metro, we've had a little bit of drizzle with some showers over Guthrie right now and thunderstorms up into Stillwater. So if you've got kids that go to OSU, they'll need the rain gear as they head off this morning to maybe some class or to study. Glencoe and often northeastern Oklahoma. Here's the view from our Guthrie cam. We'll see, looking off to the north, if we can see a lightning flash or not. But if not, you can see the moisture there on the camera. There has been a lot of lightning with these storms during the overnight, but as they've weakened, they have been on a downward trend, meaning very little in the way of hail, and the lightning has come down significantly as well. Back down to the south and east, a few additional little showers have gone up near Ada, Stonewall, up to Allen and Calvin, off into eastern Oklahoma, and again here in the metro, areas of drizzle possible. Here's the live look on our Lucky Stars Skycam network. The cloud deck hanging in very, very low here on your Wednesday. 46 is our temperature right now, 97% humidity, and today brings much cooler temperatures. We made it to 81 degrees yesterday. That was near the record high of 84, and today we're only in the 50s. Temperatures are in the 40s this morning, so pretty mild. There's the cold front from yesterday. It has stalled down to the south and east. Out ahead of it, upper 60s. Very, very warm. A south wind compared to the north wind back behind the front, and that front will spark additional severe threats into this afternoon and evening. Now, our big severe weather maker for your Thursday and Friday is just now coming onto the coast of the United States. We'll talk more about that threat, talking wind, hail, and a low tornado threat. It's all coming up.
Megan, thank you. The trial for a Woodward father accused of shooting the man he believed sexually assaulted his 1-year-old child is set for later this year. Investigators say Waylon Martin and Krista Pfizer, the child's mother, threatened Tyler Valdez, the accused abuser. Valdez was dating Pfizer at the time that the child had been there in his care. Valdez had gotten a protective order against the two, but was then shot 2 days later and recovered. Valdez was then arrested for child abuse and is now set to go to trial next month. Meanwhile, Martin's trial for shooting with intent to kill starts May 18th. Pfizer will be in court next week.
The accused ringleader of a $1 billion illegal drug operation is given a $100,000 bond, and the Oklahoma Attorney General is mad about it. Court records show an Oklahoma County judge had denied the AG's request to raise this man's bond, Hao Chen, to $1 million. Last month, Chen was arrested in New York for running a 4-year-long scheme to traffic black market marijuana here in Oklahoma. AG Gettner Drummond is expressing concern, saying of that bond, a $100,000 bond for Hao Chen does not come close to reflecting the harm done to Oklahoma communities by this drug operation.
Also, a federal program we've learned is now compensating victims who were sex trafficked on websites that facilitated a crime. So this does impact anyone who was sex trafficked on Backpage and CityX Guide. from April of 2018 to June of 2020. Those are the websites. The Department of Justice has $200 million set aside for restitution for victims. Oklahoma City-based the Dragonfly Home has been helping survivors navigate this compensation application. They are asking victims to document their financial losses.
Victims are looking for assistance primarily with restitution for medical expenses, trauma therapy, dental expenses, tattoo removal, and lost wages.
Again, for victims of sex trafficking, the deadline to apply for that federal compensation is March 31st. It's 6:35 on our Wednesday, and we're taking a live look at the morning drive. Let's go ahead and check in with our Brianna Brown. She is traveling the metro roads. Brianna, where are you? It's a little rain out there this morning.
Good morning, Robin. Yes, we're here on 235 going north. We're just now passing the 36th Street exit. Now, we did see some drizzle on the windshield so far this morning. We did see some earlier this morning, too, on the north side of the metro, but we are seeing that a little bit now on this side of the metro. But traffic is moving along just fine. We responded to one crash earlier on I-40, but that has since cleared, so traffic should be moving a bit better over there. But right now, here on 235 going north, traffic is moving just fine. No major slowdowns to report or any crashes so far along right here. But we'll keep you updated here. Reporting on 235, Brianna Brown for Oklahoma Zone.
All right, everything looking good there. Brianna, thanks so much, and we'll check in with her in just a moment. A bill at the state capitol to restructure the state sports association, OSSAA, fails. All of this comes after Governor Stitt called to dismantle the OSSAA.
It's time to eliminate the OSSAA and secure our progress with open transfer.
Well, it looks like that's not going to happen. The bill, again, that failed, would have created a new board structure with appointments made by the state. Governor Stitt says he's confident the organization will still make changes. OSSAA says it appreciates the state Senate's decision and remains committed to working with lawmakers on future legislation impacting educational and extracurricular programs in the state.
6:37, your time right now. Got to talk about what's coming toward us tomorrow into Friday. Talking rain, possibly severe weather. Let's turn to the Bob Mills Weather Center now. Megan Gold standing by. Megan?
Good morning. More severe weather headed our way for Thursday and Friday. It's going to be more widespread, and those storms are going to go up in an environment that will be more conducive to higher end severe weather. The drizzle has really picked up down on the south sides of the metro. It is affecting traffic. If you're traveling into Oklahoma City from the Norman and the Moore area, coming up here in full weather, we'll talk about it. I'll show you the roadways and also get you an update on the severe risks for the next couple of days.
Well, from the state capitol to the college campus, former Lieutenant Governor Todd Lamb has stepped into a new chapter as president of UCO, and the students on campus say he's everywhere. He's so visible and intentional about building relationship. Todd tells me his favorite way to connect with students is simply at the coffee shop.
We have a Starbucks on campus. And so I started this my first year. I'm in my third year as president now. When I go to Starbucks and there's a student in front of me, I buy that cup of coffee. And there's one behind me, I buy that cup of coffee. So here's what happened after the students caught on. Recently, I was there in line. I looked back, 8 students deep.
Oh my God! They're like, President Lamb's here.
And then I was running it to give opening remarks to an event right there at the ballroom at our student
You're
center.
like, leave the credit card.
I gave my credit card to the barista, and they brought it back to my office later.
All right, meet Todd Lamb at the Starbucks on campus. Hey, my conversation with him is really good. And the podcast drops at 10:30 this morning. On YouTube, there's the QR code. That'll take you to Oklahoma's own original channel. Don't miss In the Spotlight at 10:30 this Wednesday morning.
enough money.
He's got plenty.
Yeah, he's screaming. He's foaming at the mouth.
Yeah, he's not allowed to step on the floor. None of the guys on the bench are, and he got teed up and thrown out of the game. So he's officially a Washington.
Oh boy.
That's a former Sooner, Trey Young. He was ejected from the game before he even suited up with his new team for the first time.
I love Trey.
While the Washington Wizards were playing the Houston Rockets, Young, who was out due to injury, went onto the court. You can see, got a little chippy. He was promptly ejected. So keep in mind, he was traded to Washington back in January, but still hasn't made his Washington debut.
But he looks
yes, he
comfy.
did.
Yes, he did.
Like, I'm still fighting for you, Washington.
He's passionate. Yeah,
Yes.
he's passionate about his.
He's like,
He got thrown out of a game he wasn't even playing in.
That's so funny.
He's like, I will be
It's
seen
like,
and
it's like
heard on
parents
this
getting
court.
thrown out. You know?
Yeah, we love you, Trey.
He could make a 3-point from wherever he was standing. That's for sure on that court.
All right. Hey, back here at home, something to pass along. Woodward Middle School.
Without
not
school today.
going to class
Because-
for power. I checked the power outages, and there's only 145 in the whole state.
Right.
Most of them in Woodward.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Right at the middle
They
school.
weren't even
Middle
showing up in
school.
my system because there
Yeah.
are such few. But if you're a Woodward middle schooler, maybe you're very excited
school
about that.
today.
So we got amazing rain up in northern Oklahoma. I do want to start by showing you the traffic conditions on I-35 right now, as drizzle has really picked up here within the last 15 to 20 minutes, and that is causing that combined really with typical morning rush hour is causing some congestion. So you can see that there on the cameras, and I'll show you from Next Gen what the radar looks like as the drizzle is picking up in intensity. We also have our Brianna Brown out on the roadways, and you can see the drizzle control room. There we go. If you can take her shot. She is here in downtown right now, and some very light rain to drizzle. And again, this is all kind of lifting in from the south to the north. And thankfully, it's not causing ponding on the roadways, but the roadways are becoming wet, and that is giving us a few traffic slowdowns. So just a heads up, as you hit the roadways in Oklahoma City, we have a chance for a few showers today, but the bulk of the widespread rain and storms will be well down to our south and to our east. So let me take you back. Storms took off in the Texas Panhandle during kind of the 11 o'clock to midnight hour, and they were severe through the Woodward, the May Ranch, the Buffalo area over to Cherokee, and they have since been on a weakening trend. A lot of heavy rain, a lot of lightning, and some very, very small hail. Kyle Wilson's been out this morning. We're so grateful for him and grateful to see him covering rain and thunderstorms instead of wildfires, right? Back into a little closer to the metro, light rain over Guthrie down to Oak Tree, Kearney up to Agra, Cushing, and all of this lifting off into northeastern Oklahoma. Some thunderstorms over Perkins right now, and Stillwater up to the Glencoe area. So again, all this moving off into our sister stations viewing area, Oologah, Claremore over to Lenapaw, and kind of the Grand Lake area. When you look at how much rain has fallen in just the last 6-7 hours, Woodward has picked up just under an inch of rain, and it has been, this hasn't updated yet, but it has been 35 days since they've had a 1/4 inch of rain. So this is a huge deal for folks up in northern Oklahoma, and we need more of it. We do have additional chances as we go into the next couple of days. Here's the live look from our Lucky Stars Skycam network. The cloud deck has been hanging in very low this morning, and it has since lifted up some. So now you can finally see the Devon Tower this morning. 48 is our temperature, and it feels like 42, 93% humidity. The cold front from yesterday, I just want to mention today, you will notice how much cooler it is. We hit a high of 81 yesterday, forecasting 55 this afternoon. And with the cloud cover and the drizzle, temperatures just will not warm much from where we are right now. Out ahead of that cold front, temperatures this morning have been in the upper 60s compared to the 40s back behind it with a north breeze. And today, winds are light to breezy out of the north, not a windy day. Tomorrow is a windy day. So drizzle chances in that light green and also kind of in that middle shaded green there, 40% chance, with rain and thunderstorms ending from the west to the east as we go through the morning here with thunderstorms across eastern Oklahoma, and your highs for today in the low to mid to upper 50s and a few low 60s. Out ahead of the front, temperatures in the 70s, and that environment will be conducive to more strong thunderstorms this afternoon. A 30% chance for showers in Oklahoma City this afternoon. Nothing very widespread. They'll be spotty at times, so just don't let that catch you off guard. Starting at 3 o'clock this afternoon into the overnight, that is where severe threats will be down in far southeastern Oklahoma, and that is out ahead of the cold front. The tornado threat is very, very low, but it's not zero. More of a wind and a hail threat, but still something to watch. Now, as we go into your Thursday and your Friday, the threat is going to crank up some. So really just have that safe plan ready to go. Maybe talk to your kiddos. We'll get through it. It'll be okay. But there is a low tornado threat, and we haven't had that in quite some time. So I want you to be prepared. The storm that is driving those thunderstorm chances is well off to the west now, coming onto the coast of the United States. So most of tomorrow will be a dry day. Tomorrow evening, we'll watch for thunderstorms take off in the Texas Panhandle and in southwestern Oklahoma. And these storms will quickly become supercells, rotating thunderstorms that can crank out some big hail and maybe a tornado or two. So this is mainly to the west of I-35. The biggest question is, do those storms weaken before they make it to Oklahoma City, or do they just come all the way to I-35? This is showing you rotation tracker. So again, these storms will have the ability to rotate, and on Friday, the dry line sets up in western Oklahoma, and areas east of that dry line will be under the gun for more severe weather. Your full 9-day forecast, we get a break this weekend with another round of storms next Tuesday.
The war in Iran impacting the prices at the pump. After the break, the changes we're already seeing.
And ahead on 9, Sweet Caroline, the uplifting true story about the life of Neil Diamond. It's being told right here in Oklahoma City this weekend. Coming up on the Community Spotlight, a preview of the music-filled memoir. As conflict in the Middle East goes into its 5th day, gas prices nationwide have increased.
Yeah, you probably noticed. Our Kylie Dedman actually talked with AAA Oklahoma on the reason behind the higher prices. She joins us now. Kylie?
Well, this time of year, it's normal for gas prices to increase. It's the changing of the blends, and then supply demand also goes up with spring break just right around the corner. But right now, the thing that's really making these gas prices soar is the new tension that's happening with Iran. Now, according to CBS News, they're reporting that Iran is targeting ships and energy infrastructure in the region. Oil fields across the Middle East are shutting down after a refinery in Saudi Arabia was struck. And in Qatar, natural gas production is being paused. Taking a look at the numbers, this is the first time since November that the national average gas price has risen above $3. Back here in the Sooner State, the average is about $2.73, still making it one of the lowest average gas prices in America. But compared to just a week ago, we have jumped almost 35 cents.
The increase in crude oil prices directly translates to the increases we're seeing at the gas pumps. Crude oil makes up about 60% of the cost of each gallon of gasoline, and so it's a big part of that.
And it's not just ground transportation that is being affected. Stewart says passengers taking to the skies will also be impacted as jet fuel is part of the process with crude oil increasing. Now, Stewart also wants to remind drivers that these prices can fluctuate depending on the other factors and, of course, with the changing of the blends. Reporting live, Kylie Dedman, Oklahoma's own News 9.
Yeah, we're just talking. Lacey said in one day, her neighborhood gas station went up about 25 cents. So how can you improve gas mileage on your car? We do have some tips for you. It's on our website, inside this story, news9.com.
A wrong-way driver on I-35 arrested for possible DUI. Where OHP found the car? It's next. Some headlines in Kay County. The Highway Patrol says a 66-year-old man is hit and killed by an SUV. It happened near Ponca City. The OHP says Terry Wayne Willis was standing behind his Dodge pickup and trailer when he was hit by a teenage driver trying to avoid him. He was pronounced dead at the scene.
And this morning, we know a Metro driver has been arrested for possible DUI. The Highway Patrol says the person was traveling the wrong way on I-35 as they got on the Turner Turnpike. Troopers say they managed to stop the driver without a crash.
Another driver is being tested for driving under the influence after crashing their car into a fence near Northwest 10th and Douglas. Police say they took that driver in for a blood test. No injuries were reported.
And your time now, 6:58. One more look at traffic this morning. Here is the Lucky Star Skycam network. You can see some raindrops on the lens right there. I'm looking at our crash reports. Nothing to pass along. We are starting to see some slowdowns for morning commute on I-35 coming up from Norman and more, but everything else looks good. Be safe.
All right. Hey, just a heads up. This Saturday, Penn Square Mall, the meet and greet, the entire News 9 weather team, all our experts will be there. It is the big Weather Expo, 11 to 2, Penn Square Mall.
Got a lot to talk about, including today.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, I do want you to know if you're hitting the roadways right now, the drizzle has gotten very heavy here within the last 15 to 30 minutes in Oklahoma City. So that's causing those slowdowns. The roadways are wet. You'll have to have the windshield wipers going this morning. And of course, the rain and thunderstorms continue to weaken up to the north. And just a message to pass along, Woodward Public Schools Middle School is back in school.
I got the power back.
Electricity has been restored. I'm sorry,
I feel
kiddos.
bad for those kids that thought they weren't going to school.
They were
They're going
excited.
to school after all.
So, all right. So classes in Woodward today. Make it a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.